Greetings, soulmates. Welcome to another informative Love Live Health podcast episode. I'm your host, Coach Hazel, and if you're new here, this podcast is about self care, self transformation, self knowledge through holistic techniques. Today, I would like to share the history and who are the first people who use essential oils. Aromatherapy will also be discussed in this episode due to its connection with essential oils. It might not sound as interesting as it is for some, but I think knowing the history and who are the first users of essential oils will help you greatly to better understand its effectiveness, and it might somehow help in taking off any doubts of its efficacy to some. Also, one of the many things I learned about transitioning to a healthy and more balanced lifestyle is to read your ingredients. Knowing either the history or where does the products originated before using or consuming it is a must. Trust me, I never cared about essential oils either before, but when I become more health conscious, that's the time I also did a lot of research about what I put in my body, and that is including what I also inhale. I used to love buying things from Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works, like their lotion, scented candles, body mist spray, car bathroom air freshener because I love to smell good and I love when my whole house and car smells fresh and good as well. But I found out that most of the products in Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works contains endocrine disruptors. Synthetic fragrances often contains phthalates, which can disrupt hormone function and potentially lead to reproductive abnormalities, asthma, allergies, and other health issues. This is why I stopped going to these stores and I start incorporating scented essential or natural oils to most of my skin and hair products. Perfume, laundry detergent, air purifier, car and bathroom freshener, not just for fragrance purposes, but also for chemical free, more natural alternative products. Let's continue by looking at the early users of EOS, how it evolved, and what roles does EOS play now in our modern medicine. Let's start with the Egyptians. The Egyptians are extreme oil lovers. In the days of Pharaoh, Egyptians made extensive use of essential oils in medicine and burial practices. The process of embalming and mummification was developed at this time as the Egyptians searched for immortality. Frankincense, myrrh, galbanum, cinnamon, cedarwood, juniper berry, and spikenard were used to preserve the bodies of their royalty in preparation for the afterlife. In fact, when King Tut's tomb was opened in 1923, archaeologists discovered 50 alabaster jars that contained essential oils, several of them completely full. Aromatherapy, also known as essential oil therapy, was used extensively by the Egyptians. The Egyptians burned incense made from the aromatic wood and spices, and entire temples were designed for the production and blending of oils, where oil recipes were written on the walls in hieroglyphics. The Egyptians also used essential oils as part of their daily lives. The women of Egypt would use fragrance oils after bathing to rejuvenate their skin and protect them from the sun. Cleopatra, once considered the most beautiful woman in the world, was known to use essential oils. She used oils like rose, frankincense, cypress, neroli, and myrrh for her personal beauty treatments. The queen was also described as clouded in scent of mystery. Today, we are finally beginning to embrace the wisdom of the Jews and Egyptians by using essential oils to combat the detrimental effects of stress and simultaneously restore beauty and well being in our daily lives. Now, let's move on to the next set of people that pioneers the use of oils as medicine, which is the Chinese people. The ancient Chinese also believe in the power of essential oils. Some speculate that the Chinese may have begun studying aromatics at the same time as the Egyptians, or even before. The oldest surviving medical text is Shennong's Herbal, dated around 2700 BC. Shennong was a mythical ruler of prehistoric China who reportedly consumed hundreds of herbs and tested their medicinal value. The upper class citizens in China also used plant oils frequently during the Tang dynasties to scent their homes, clothing, temples, ink paper, and cosmetics. In ancient Chinese medicine, it is understood that herbs have specific actions and properties. Some herbs are cooling, while others are warming. Some herbs invigorate and others sedate. Each herb is explained through its properties as well as its actions and effects. It is believed that the concepts of qi, life force, and yin yang form the base of this medical system. For example, low qi can be detected by feeling a weak pulse, low energy levels, hypothyroidism, or depression. Having a yin deficiency often presents as dry skin, food cravings, and trouble sleeping. A yang deficiency is often related with low sexual desire, physical weakness, and poor self esteem. In Chinese medicine, a practitioner may use a yang essential oil such as ginger, which has warming properties to aid in digestion and help clear dampness, candida, and colds from the body. Then they may use a yin strengthening essential oil such as geranium to treat infertility and improve skin health. And then to boost the body's qi, thyme oil can effectively treat conditions such as low energy and weakness. This method of diagnosis and treatment was a fascinating and forward thinking early application of holistic medicine, which is a form of medicine that emphasizes the need to look at the whole person, including analysis of all physical and emotional imbalances in the quest for optimal health and wellness. As you can see, ancient Chinese medicine is an advanced form of holistic healing that has harnessed the benefits of essential oils for thousands of years. Now let's move on to the Greeks, which is the botany trailblazers. Botany, also known as plant science, is a science of plant life and a branch of biology. The term botany comes from an ancient Greek word meaning pasture or grass. Historically, all living things were classified as either animals or plants, and botany covered the study of all organisms not considered animals. Therefore, the study of essential oils falls under the botany umbrella, and there are several men who are credited with creating and describing many of the fundamental principles of the science. Number one is Hippocrates. Hippocrates is referred to as the father of Western medicine, even though much of what he did would today be considered holistic. Hippocrates documented over 200 different herbs during his lifetime. He believed that plant-based medicine could save lives and surgery should only be used as a last resort. He also one of the first to believe that diseases were caused naturally rather than view them as punishments by their gods. Another person is Theophrastus, known as the founder of botany. Theophrastus wrote several botanical works. The history of plants became one of the most botanical science references for centuries to come. Theophrastus investigated everything about plants and even how scientific scents and different flowers' aromatic properties affected people's emotions. The next person is Pedanius Dioscorides. Pedanius Dioscorides was a Greek military physician, pharmacologist, and botanist. Between 50 and 70 AD, Dioscorides wrote a 5-volume book entitled De Materia Medica, meaning on medical material, which became the precursor to all modern pharmacopoeias. In it, Dioscorides discussed 600 plants in total, detailing their descriptions, potential uses, habitats, and proper preparation and storage. And the next one is Claudius Galen. Claudius Galen was a prominent Greek physician, surgeon, and philosopher in the Roman Empire. Galen began his medical career working with gladiators by treating their wounds with medicinal herbs. He is often credited with helping to spread the doctrine of humorism, which is a system of medicine detailing the makeup and workings of the human body. And it suggests that the human body is filled with 4 basic substances called humors, which are in balance when a person is healthy. gallon system and the pioneering efforts of these men allowed physicians to formulate and prescribe medicines more accurately. In short, Greek medicine became a system for healing that treats the person, not the symptoms of disease. Now I'm going to tell you about the oils crusade that happened in Europe. As civilizations transferred world power, the essential oil techniques from Greece traveled to Rome and favored aromatherapy and fragrances. After the fall of Roman Empire, Persia picked up these healing techniques and perfected the essential oil distillation process that is still used today. During the Crusades, the knights and their armies were responsible for passing on knowledge of herbal medicines that they learned in the Middle East throughout Western Europe. The knights acquired knowledge of distillation and carried perfumes with them. This holistic approach to treating health conditions was largely rejected during the Dark Ages. During this era, it is believed that monks continued the healing tradition of essential oils and secretly kept herbal medicine alive in the halls of the monasteries. Because the Catholic Church viewed bathing as inappropriate during this time, the citizens favored aromatics to keep foul odors at bay. What they didn't realize is that many of these oils were also antibacterial, which meant that their perfume was also helping them to prevent sickness and disease. After the invention of the modern distillation process, the popularity of essential oils spreads through Europe. When the Great Plague became widespread, fumigations were conducted using aromatics to drive out sickness from the cities. In London, houses and workplaces were fumigated on a daily basis, and this reportedly protected the citizens from the plague. The oils were valued because of their antimicrobial properties, especially lavender and frankincense. History tells us that there are several variations of a protective blend that were used to guard citizens from the plague. One such blend was called Four Thieves, and the legend states that it was a powerful blend of vinegar, herbs, and oils. While the legend changes as much as the precise formula for the blend, the gist of the story is this. During the plague, the Black Plague is the most common one cited. A group of four brothers began robbing the dead. At first, their crimes were largely ignored because everyone knew they would eventually pay the price by catching the plague themselves. To everyone's surprise, they managed to avoid catching the plague and continued robbing graves, amassing a great deal of wealth. They became legendary and everyone wanted to know how they managed to escape what seemed like inevitable death. When they were finally captured, it was discovered that these men were the sons of a perfumer and herbalist, and they had learned about essential oils from their parents during childhood. Thanks to their parents' knowledge, the brothers knew a certain combination of oils that would protect them. So they rubbed this concoction on their bodies and used the blend to clean anything they brought back from infected homes and grave sites. The powerful, legendary blend typically contains some combination of eucalyptus, clove, rosemary, thyme, and sage. Although the details of this story may never be fully verified, one thing is certain. The oils in that blend were once widely known to fight disease and protect the body, and a whole host of other oils continue to be used in perfumes, medicine, and other uses for many centuries. Now let's talk about how essential oils emerges in a modern medicine. By the 1800s, pharmaceutical companies emerged, including Abbott, Parky Davis, and Squibb, eventually pioneering drug companies like Pfizer, Bayer, Merck, and Johnson & Johnson became mainstream. And although these companies were still using plant-based medicine, synthetic drugs were gaining momentum. By the 20th century, many people stopped using whole plant remedies and essential oils. Instead, drug manufacturers offered convenient and effective medications, including penicillin and insulin. These modern and life saving discoveries left the idea of plants as medicine in the dust, and their essential oils sat for many years, joining the realm of seemingly obsolete folk medicine. In 1928, essential oil use began to emerge when French chemist René Maurice Gattefossé used lavender oil to heal a burn on his hand. He then decided to further analyze the properties of lavender oil and how could it be used to treat other types of skin infections, wounds, or burns. With this, the term aromatherapy was officially born. Gattefossé and a colleague conducted further research on the healing properties of lavender and introduced it to many of the hospitals in France. During outbreak of Spanish influenza, there were no reported deaths of hospital personnel, which was credited to the use of lavender. The use of these oils continued to spread once again throughout Europe, especially with practitioners of alternative medicine such as massage therapists and beauticians. Aromatherapy did not become popular in the US until the 1980s when product makers began to add essential oils to various lotions, candles, and perfumes. Today, they are trained professionals such as aromatherapists, herbalists, massage therapists, nutritionists, and doctors of natural medicine who use aromatherapy in their practices and are trained in specific uses for essential oils. Even so, their use as medicine is so highly contested and has undergone such harsh scrutiny in recent years that it has caused many people to wonder, are essential oils the real deal? The answer is a resounding yes. Essential oils are real and when used properly are effective without side effects, unlike their synthetic drug counterparts. By incorporating essential oils into your daily life, you can make over your health, home, and body and create a medicine and personal care cabinet fit for a king or queen. According to NIH, National Institute of Health PubMed database, there are currently 23,987 medical studies on essential oils, many proving their therapeutic benefits. Essential oils have been used to support the body and mind since before the time of record keeping. They were long looked upon as sources of healing, and they were highly prized and valued. In fact, Proverbs 21 to 20 says, "There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise." The possession of oils in one's house was a sign of wisdom. Medicine doesn't have to be so complicated. Health and healing don't have to be so elusive. You simply have to unlock the power of the plants that God made on the third day of creation in order to both simplify your life and enjoy a happier, healthier existence for you and your family. Thank you for joining me today, Soulmates, and I would love to hear all your essential oil stories in the comment section below. I will also make an announcement when I will be releasing some information about my essential oil workshop that I'm working on right now. Be sure to also check out my Patreon community page and social medias because that's where I'm going to post my workshop and classes announcements. In my Patreon page, that's where I also post exclusive contents for my paid Soulmate members. Actually, I already posted some exclusive contents there about essential oils a while back, so feel free to check that out as well. All my links are in the description box. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to share or hit the like button so others can also learn from this episode. If we vibe, subscribe, and always remember everything starts with you.